Russia's history is one of empire, expansion, and ambition. From the vast territories of the Tsars to the ideological reach of the Soviet Union, Russia has always sought to extend its influence far and wide. From the Tsars to the Soviets, Russia has always played a significant role on the world stage. The Tsars built an empire that spanned continents, while the Soviets created a superpower that rivaled the United States during the Cold War. Today, under Vladimir Putin, Russia is again asserting itself as a global power. Putin's leadership has been marked by a desire to restore Russia's influence and prestige, both regionally and globally. This resurgence is driven by a complex mix of historical grievances, geopolitical ambitions, and economic interests. Russia's leaders have long felt that their country was unfairly treated by the West, and this sense of injustice fuels their current policies. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Russia experienced a period of decline. The 1990s were marked by economic hardship, political instability, and a loss of international standing. The loss of superpower status and economic turmoil left a scar on the national psyche. Many Russians felt a deep sense of humiliation and loss, which has influenced the country's modern political landscape. Putin, who rose to power in 1999, promised to restore Russia's greatness. His early years in office were focused on stabilizing the economy, consolidating political power, and reasserting Russia's influence on the world stage. His vision is rooted in a belief that Russia deserves to be a leading power, respected and feared on the world stage. This vision has driven many of his domestic and foreign policies. Putin's Russia seeks to reclaim its sphere of influence in the former Soviet republics, which it sees as vital to its security and interests. This includes countries like Ukraine, Georgia, and the Baltic states. This ambition has brought Russia into conflict with its neighbors, most notably in Ukraine. The 2014 annexation of Crimea and the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine are direct results of this policy. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 and the ongoing war in eastern Ukraine are stark reminders of Russia's willingness to use military force to achieve its objectives. These actions have led to widespread international condemnation and sanctions. Russia's ambitions extend beyond its immediate neighborhood. It has sought to project power in the Middle East, most notably through its military intervention in Syria. It seeks to challenge the US-led world order and establish itself as a counterweight to Western power. This is part of a broader strategy to create a multipolar world where Russia is one of the key players. This is evident in its military interventions in Syria, its support for regimes opposed to the West, and its efforts to undermine Western institutions. Russia's actions are a clear signal that it intends to play a major role in global affairs, challenging the dominance of the West at every turn. Russia's foreign policy is driven by a desire to regain its lost superpower status, a status that was significantly diminished after the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991. This ambition is not just about power for power's sake, but about securing its interests in a rapidly changing world where new threats and opportunities constantly emerge. Key to this strategy is the restoration of Russia's military might, which had atrophied after the collapse of the Soviet Union. The Russian government has made it a priority to rebuild and modernize its military forces. Under President Vladimir Putin, there has been a significant investment in modernizing Russia's armed forces. This includes equipping them with advanced weaponry, enhancing their capabilities, and conducting extensive military drills to ensure readiness. Beyond military might, Russia employs a range of tools to project its power and influence on the global stage. These tools are multifaceted and include economic, political, and technological strategies. Energy exports, particularly natural gas, are a key lever in Russia's foreign policy. The country's vast energy resources provide it with significant economic power and influence. Russia is a major supplier of natural gas to Europe, and it has not hesitated to use this leverage for political gain. This dependency on Russian energy creates a complex web of relationships and dependencies. Cyber warfare and disinformation campaigns are other instruments in Russia's arsenal. These tactics are used to sow discord in the West, undermine democratic institutions, and create confusion and mistrust among populations. Russia's actions on the world stage are often opportunistic, exploiting crises and instability to advance its interests. This approach allows Russia to act swiftly and decisively in situations where other nations may hesitate. The war in Syria, for example, provided an opportunity for Russia to intervene militarily. By bolstering its ally Bashar al-Assad, Russia was able to project power into the Middle East and secure a strategic foothold in the region. Russia's willingness to engage in such interventions, often in defiance of international norms, underscores its determination to be a major player on the global stage. This defiance is a clear signal of Russia's intent to challenge the existing international order. Russia's foreign policy is a complex tapestry woven from historical grievances, geopolitical ambitions, and economic interests. These elements are deeply interwoven and influence each other in significant ways. Understanding the motivations behind Russia's actions is crucial for navigating the increasingly turbulent waters of international relations. Experts and analysts spend considerable time dissecting these motivations to predict future actions. As Russia continues to assert itself, the world watches with a mix of fascination and apprehension. The global community is keenly aware that Russia's actions have far-reaching implications for international stability and security. Russia's military has undergone a significant transformation under Putin's leadership. Over the past 2 decades, the Russian armed forces have been revitalized with a focus on modernizing equipment, improving training, and enhancing overall combat readiness. Once a shadow of its Soviet predecessor, the Russian military has been modernized and re-equipped with significant investments in advanced technology and weaponry. This modernization effort has included the development of new tanks, aircraft, and missile systems, making the Russian military a formidable force on the global stage, becoming a formidable force capable of projecting power far beyond Russia's borders. The ability to deploy troops and equipment quickly and efficiently has been a key component of Russia's military strategy, allowing it to respond to crises and assert its influence in various regions. This resurgence was on full display in 2014 with the annexation of Crimea, a strategic move that demonstrated Russia's renewed military capabilities and its willingness to use force to achieve its geopolitical objectives, a bloodless operation that caught the West off guard. The swift and efficient nature of the operation left many Western leaders scrambling to respond, highlighting the gap between Russia's military ambitions and the West's preparedness to counter them. The annexation of Crimea demonstrated Russia's willingness to use military force to achieve its objectives and its ability to do so swiftly and decisively. This move not only solidified Russia's control over a key strategic region, but also sent a clear message to the world about its military prowess. It also marked a turning point in Russia's relations with the West, leading to a significant deterioration in diplomatic ties and the imposition of economic sanctions. The annexation of Crimea has had long-lasting repercussions, contributing to a period of heightened tensions and mistrust between Russia and Western countries. Ushering in a period of heightened tensions and mistrust, the West's response included increased military presence near Russian borders and a series of economic sanctions aimed at curbing Russia's aggressive actions. The conflict in eastern Ukraine, where Russia has supported separatist forces, further highlighted Russia's use of military power to advance its interests in its near abroad. This ongoing conflict has resulted in significant loss of life and has further strained relations between Russia and the international community. Russia's military intervention in Syria, launched in 2015, marked another significant step in its return to the global stage. By deploying its military forces to support the Assad regime, Russia demonstrated its ability to project power far beyond its immediate neighborhood. By intervening decisively in support of the Assad regime, Russia propped up a key ally, ensuring the survival of the Syrian government and maintaining its influence in the region. This intervention also allowed Russia to showcase its military capabilities and gain valuable combat experience, prevented the collapse of the Syrian state, and in doing so, secured its strategic interests in the Middle East. The presence of Russian military bases in Syria has provided Moscow with a foothold in the region, allowing it to exert influence over regional dynamics, and established itself as a major player in the Middle East. This intervention has not only bolstered Russia's standing in the region, but also positioned it as a key power broker in the ongoing conflict. The Syrian intervention showcased Russia's military capabilities and its willingness to use them in a complex and volatile region. The deployment of advanced aircraft and precision-guided munitions demonstrated Russia's ability to conduct high-intensity operations far from its borders. Beyond conventional military power, Russia has also invested heavily in hybrid warfare, a blend of conventional and unconventional tactics designed to achieve political objectives while remaining below the threshold of outright war. This approach has allowed Russia to exert influence without triggering a full-scale military response from its adversaries. Cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and support for paramilitary groups are all part of Russia's hybrid warfare playbook. These tactics have been used to destabilize adversaries, manipulate public opinion, and achieve strategic goals without direct military confrontation. Cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and support for paramilitary groups are all part of Russia's hybrid warfare playbook. These tactics have been employed in various conflicts, including in Ukraine and Syria, and have become a hallmark of Russia's approach to modern warfare. These tactics have been employed in various conflicts, including in Ukraine and Syria, and have become a hallmark of Russia's approach to modern warfare. The use of hybrid warfare has allowed Russia to achieve its objectives while maintaining a level of plausible deniability, and have become a hallmark of Russia's approach to modern warfare. As Russia continues to refine its hybrid warfare capabilities, it remains a significant challenge for the international community to address and counter these multifaceted threats effectively.